Welcome back. It's day 3 of the QPL World Championship. We're getting closer. 4 matches remaining before we talk about this one, which is the upper bracket final. One final reminder, alienwarearena.com. Head over there, grab your QuakeCon 2021 Quake Champions bundle. Right now comes with 500 platinum, some cosmetics, and also weapon skins as well. Or you can use !Alienware in chat. It'll bring up the link to send you directly there, and then you can get the job done. Well, you still can. So 40 Lions and Ketchup, welcome back. You get to take us on an amazing journey because we've got an upper bracket final between 2 players who over the last several months, we have all sat here at one point and said, either of these 2 could be a champion. Now they face off. One of them going to march right into the grand final. The other one going to go down to the gulag, I guess, like get a little dirty there with Rafa and Kilson and the loser of this matchup. But very excited to talk about this one. When the picks and bans are ready, they're going to pop back up. But Ketchup, I'm going to go to you right away. Actually, maybe we'll just go right to the pick and bans and take it in there.
Clutch.
Awoken, Deep Embrace, Corrupted Keep, Molten Falls, and Ruins are our maps today.
All right, I mean, the thing that sticks out immediately is, yes, Clutch manages to make it in, and this is going to be a fantastic beginning. After that, the Deep Embrace, Doomslayer removed with Ranger versus Death Knight, Corrupted Keep, and that was a bit of an early slash ban, and that definitely was not a slash ban for Corrupted Keep. That ban was for the next map because it was Molten. And then Ruins of Sarnath as our final destination if we get there, but the chance of getting there, I feel like between these 2 is pretty high. 40, we could be in for the long haul.
I think we might see a little bit of what we just saw, where it goes to map 5 and it's down to the wire, and it's bad for my heart, Ketchup, but it's fine, because as spectators, we all win, as we've said time and time again with these last few matchups. I cannot wait to see the Clutch. What a way to start the series. Again, RAISY is absolute beastly on Clutch, but Wenger, he knows, and lately, actually, RAISY's seen seemed a little mortal on it, so we'll see exactly how the Strog plays into that Clutch on Awoken to start.
Well, there's so much to break down about this. Teammates, and they have been teammates for an extremely long time, and definitely in the world of Duel, considered to be at the absolute top of the food chain. vengeurR and RAISY could, either one, as we pointed out, could totally win this tournament. It would surprise nobody, and the reality is, folks, one of these 2 is guaranteed to have that upper bracket kind of safety net, right? That map advantage, which against the characters that are left in the Shark Tank is going to go a long way, you'd think.
I think it is. I also just have to point out on Molten, this Nyx versus Scale matchup. It's going to be, and this whole setup is going to be awesome. Starting off with the RAISY Clutch, very excited. Both players are in the lobby, gentlemen. I think they are ready to go. Checking in on chat.
Can admin add me to the lobby, please?
Oh, that would be good. We would like to get Ketchup, and that's just enough time to let everyone put in their final predictions here. Just taking a quick look at what the interwebs are saying. And at first it was in favor of vengeurR, and then someone in chat said, how could you be voting for vengeurR when RAISY's on Clutch? And then suddenly RAISY's Clutch went up a lot of percentage. Right now, 42 to 58. It's still very close. But 40 Lines of Ketchup. Enjoy this match. Thanks for taking us on this journey. We'll see you on the other side.
Thanks so much. And 40, dude, it's actually been a fair old while since you and I shared this experience. I think that's probably for the best for the Twitch chat experience. Unfortunately, you're stuck with us for this one, but it's going to be some juicy games. And there's been barely any Clutch at all this weekend. It's a common ban. The reality is, even now to this day, a lot of people do not like playing against it. If it's RAISY, you know that the Clutch is going to be this absolute nightmare fuel experience, but with 2 players for you that know each other so well, there has to be an element of confidence of, look, if the Clutch is there, vengeurR knows what he has to do. He's going to have an element of movement here. He's going to have not too shabby of a stack, but if he's able to keep the Clutch behind, if Clutch isn't able to build up the stack, get the weapons together, he's the biggest character in the game. And I think, as ZSX always likes to call him, the flying fridge. I mean, you're not really going to miss this guy. And Awoken, an aggressive map.
Can't wait to see how this breaks down, Ketchup. It's a pleasure. vengeurR versus RAISY. Upper bracket finals is live right now. We're starting off on vengeurR and again on Awoken Strog versus Clutch. In a quick rail from vengeurR, just missing out. Unfortunately, now RAISY's actually trapped himself. Here comes the peeker. A little bit of damage followed up with a rail. vengeur's going to make this count. Big rails coming up for vengeurR and already on the board, threading the needle catch-up.
First frag of the map, and it is making a perfect prediction on RAISY's air dash movement, right? That's how well they know each other, and that's how well vengeurR knows the game. Now we have this opportunity for the rails to continue again. That pre-death scream of clutch, you know, man, is we contender. And I think, oh, the slight delay for RAISY. Doesn't quite save his skin, though. The next rotation of items, it appears now. And is vengeurR going to be able to pace a little bit more? I think as long as he has a rail and RAISY doesn't, it's going to be great for him. Having said that, RAISY, Mega on board, and the rail fight can begin. Pushing in big time, and so bold for RAISY to keep the shield for a rainy day.
I was gonna say, it's just a matter of time. Usually RAISY's the one to put on the pressure early, but look at the Rockets catch up, please. 3-1 in favor of vengeurR. He's just got all the answers, and again, RAISY on the back foot with the clutch, as you mentioned. Is this going to be the pace of the game? vengeurR hitting everything. Items don't even matter. Can he connect with another one? He does.
Oh, and he gets the perfect
God.
prediction on the light armor. And just like that, we've only just begun. vengeurR doesn't know what the word miss means at the moment, and RAISY, a fumble on the defensive movement, falls down the stairs. Looking a little bit like Ed 209 right here, end of the movie, but less than 2 minutes have gone by, and already vengeurR is working on a pretty sizable lead. Gets the LG, doesn't quite manage to combo into rail, but using that cooldown just to take that free mega. And I think vengeurR, you know the intensity you have to bring forward against this kind of clutch pick, and I think he's doing a great job of it so far, Forsey.
100%. He just has the fire in his belly. vengeurR, again, always knocking on the door, top 3, top 4. He's done with that. He wants to get this grand finals opportunity here, that map advantage that you spoke of. Hitting 76% rail. Yes, it's a clutch, huge hitbox, but RAISY has such good movement and mobility, and vengeurR just has it dialed in right now, hitting everything up 5-1. Strong start for vengeurR here. The LG doesn't quite knock him down. RAISY's going to be able to steal the mega and almost gets that killing rail.
Now he knows that by backing off to Banana, getting that health back, he's going to give up the heavy in doing so, at least able to take one of these lights. But RAISY, he's going to be flying around this map at an unreasonable pace. However, the close combat comes out! Super shotgun to finish it off. RAISY now without any armor, but he is able to get a frag on deck. He has to be very careful indeed, though. vengeurR tries to be a little bit slippery with that peeker, and this will now force out the shield wall. Going in for the mining drill for the extra range. Always love it when a clutch player pulls that one out. And it's now 3-5. A little bit of opening damage still, but man, these fights, they're going by at such a rapid pace. You barely have time to gather your thoughts here.
It's amazing. It's like hyper Quake right now, as item control firmly in RAISY's favor here. And the shield's going to be back up before this mega. The rocket won't quite land. vengeurR has to concede a little bit. Might be able to peek for some damage, but it looks like instead going through the telly to set up in the T-Con. Not quite, just waiting, trying to predict exactly where RAISY's coming from. Big LG, again, shield at play here. There's a rail. vengeurR extremely weak. RAISY knows it. He's going to grab the heavy and then make his way towards this frag.
Gotta say, I'm a huge fan of how RAISY's been using the shield so far. The accidental self-frag there from vengeurR, but the reality is that was going to be +1 or -1. I don't really think it changes the scoreline at all. But what I was going to say is that RAISY's use of the shield wall, it has been almost exclusively used for when he's run out of armor, to give you that extra little bit of stack in the middle of a fight where you might feel a bit confident. He's not using it in the fights at all. He's barely used it, period. And this is not something that you often see from clutch, whereas now it's just the push-in. You're about to run out of armor, we can secure the frag right as heavy spawns, another pickup for RAISY, and we'll be able to even things out 4-4. We haven't even hit the halfway point yet.
Just so much action right off the bat. A little bit of a slowdown here, which is fine. I'm sure vengeurR just doesn't want this to get out of control. That clutch could be so oppressive. Around the corner, quick LG. RAISY can't land the rockets. vengeurR melts him down before the mega. Big play there from vengeurR. Unfortunate for RAISY as he just couldn't get the beat on him with the rockets.
But there's still plenty of time to make magic things happen, and vengeurR doesn't quite have a rail yet. However, he is in position on this heavy, and as long as he keeps his stack healthy, especially with that shield wall that is nearly, 7 seconds away from coming back, you're going to need all the help you can get. And vengeurR having to play smart and careful. I like what RAISY's doing here. He is keeping vengeurR as far away from the rail as he can. But actually, RAISY at the moment isn't even interested in taking the super shotgun. I think it's about just denying any shred of a fight that he doesn't want to take. Decent rocket damage, but pushed in just as heavily by vengeurR. And at this rate, we could be tying things up again.
RAISY still no LG as he slowly makes his way over, wants to make sure it's free and he doesn't take damage, and vengeurR just hurt him down below now. Big LG here, as RAISY is able to hold him at bay just a little bit. Tri-bolt landing, needs to be careful, just gets out of there with a good air dodge. And Shield's going to be up for this next Mega.
He's not going to be able to bully him anywhere near as much, however, catches him in the air and pushes him down. I was about to talk about the lack of rail, which was a bit of a pain in the ass for vengeurR, but thankfully, he's able to pick up a rail anyway after getting that nice little frag, and he has a decent lead. The stack's going to help him out massively too. RAISY, man, this has been such a ridiculous back and forth. With these kind of champions, you expect to see it, but also the confidence of both of the Maestro lads. You love to see it.
And so much on the line. Again, the map advantage being in the grand finals from the upper bracket, but also how many pineapple pizzas do you think are on the line here? 6-4, the push in after the shield is down, and the shotgun cannot save RAISY. vengeurR goes up another frag catch up, 7-4.
The difference in effectiveness RAISY can bring forward when he does and doesn't have all of the Unholy Trinity locked in is a night and day difference. vengeurR is able to make sure that as long as I have an LG, we can party. Even the rocket launcher has not been particularly common for vengeurR. It's been the LG and Rail Fest, definitely just a champion thing. And at the same time, that flick rail, the classic from vengeurR, and he extends his lead, doubling what RAISY's currently working with.
80% rail from vengeurR, and it's not stopping.
That's definitely a why not. Just on the off chance that he goes towards where power-up normally spawns. Definitely not in duel, of course, but the accuracy has been instrumental to keeping himself in this fight, and more importantly, keeping RAISY in an uncomfortable position. We've seen the maps where RAISY, he gets full stack, full control, all the weapons, and so often people are just not allowed to exist against him. If you can keep clutch behind, even RAISY's clutch, this is where it gets manageable. It's just far from easy.
It's almost, I want to say, a rarity to see this here. And still plenty of time. LG on LG. RAISY's going to push in with the shield. Should be able to melt him down. He's going to ride the lightning, but still, that shield giving him the advantage he needs to get that frag. 8-5.
With nearly 100% LG during that encounter, RAISY is still able to, get the frag. He just soaks all of it up, looking for the range shotgun, but vengeurR hits another rail. This just keeps on coming, 40. How many of these is vengeurR going to pull out of nowhere? RAISY with the aggressive push. He can still win this map, make no mistake.
There's the trap at the doorway. vengeurR's going to take massive amounts of damage as he just slides into his own death here, but 7 HP. Should be able to get this refrag if he's quick enough. No way that RAISY can play for this Mega. He has to try and get to the LG room to stack back up. RAISY with a great defensive rocket. vengeurR was almost in there to get some of that motor oil out of there and make it 10-7, but RAISY will stay alive. No armor, needs to be careful as he takes some nail damage. 60 HP, does have the shield, and does have to pop it just to be extra careful here. This is danger territory catch-up. 1 minute 30, down by 2.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little bit like he missed his jump up there near Mega up top. Had to use his shield wall just to make sure that he didn't get fragged while trying to escape. Now, I think having to use it in a forced situation this late on the map is definitely not what you want as RAISY, but thankfully for him, 8 seconds, he's going to have it back, and has been able to bide his time enough to build up a heavy. And look at how much armor he's working on. Now you couple that with the shield, and he's in a good position. 2 frags in 60 seconds when you're working on this much of a stack is absolutely doable, but there is that mobility factor. vengeurR's going to be able to slide around those corners. Yes, Clutch is a fast fridge himself, but even here, you know, he's trying to get those rails, and vengeurR has already cut that angle. There's no angle to be had.
Here's the chase through the telly, not even a tickle, though. Item control has been fairly even.
Uh-oh, RAISY missed the heavy. That couple of seconds, I really hope that doesn't come back to haunt him, 40.
It might here, actually just about 30 seconds, the rocket jump. He's actually going to get a rail angle off that. There's the pursuit with the shield. He needs to get this frag. vengeurR just trying to waste time. He won't be able to get the frag back. Maybe he will, and he does! vengeurR hits a clutch rail yet again!
How on earth did that happen? And RAISY, 2 times in this 60 seconds, has unfortunately missed the item, and you add those seconds together, it's going to be about 4 or 5, right? And when there's only 60 on the clock, that's not what you want. vengeurR, consider this clutch handled. Machine versus machine. Poetically, that's going to be the Strog winning that first map. But that is merely one map. There's a long way to go if vengeur's going to take that win. And, ooh, 5.4k damage for vengeurR right there.
What a start, though, to be able to take on RAISY's clutch and say, you know what, this is my map. The meatballs on this man right now, Ketchup. Well done to vengeurR. I think near the end he was clocking 70 to 75% railgun. We're going to see at the end here as we take a look at the highlights. But insane rail, insane LG. And again, everyone in the chat's like, yeah, clutch is huge. Okay, you go against RAISY's clutch in his movement, and you hit that and then get back to me. It's absolutely insane that vengeurR can hit these shots under this pressure, and just a fantastic first map from both these players.
Now it has to be said though, uncharacteristically, there were some movement fumbles from RAISY, and whether it resulted in a frag, whether it resulted in a bit extra damage that is not going to feel good, or in some cases being forced to use the shield in a situation that, look, it wasn't part of the plan. It's not every day that you see RAISY make those kind of mishaps, and they happened more often in that map than they normally do. But that is the other element of the clutch, and honestly, I think why it doesn't get picked all the time, because there are elements to clutch where he looks almost unbeatable sometimes, but if your movement isn't on absolute point, you will get shredded as this champion. And I think there's a lot of players out there that just don't want to deal with that. RAISY has the confidence, obviously, able to do so, but he paid for it in that map, and we're now going to be jumping into the Deep Embrace. Ranger versus Death Knight. We've already seen all weekend long how one-sided this map can be, and that Awoken was already explosive.
It's going to be more explosive with the Flame Strike and the Dire Orb. I think we're going to see a lot of telefrags and a lot of burning alive catch-up. This one is going to be a fast-paced map. I'm looking forward to the spawn rails. Again, getting a huge advantage. I think first frag is going to be very important on this map because of the snowball effect of those spawns and being able to manipulate them. If vengeurR goes up 2-0, do you start to worry about RAISY? Do you think he can stay calm and kind of bring this back if he goes down too early?
I think he absolutely can. RAISY is one of the first players that ever, since Quake Champions started in esports, was the kind of player that in any interview, people are like, how do you deal with the pressure, the endurance of a tournament? And he'd always go, you take it one map at a time. And even back then, when it was round-based all, you take it one round at a time. There is a lot of focus for RAISY, and that has continued for the good 4 years we've been seeing him in these tournaments. However, vengeurR knows how to put that pressure on, and this is a map where the pressure is thick.
We're live on map number 2. We'll see how thick the damage can be here as vengeurR trying to get early damage, and he just drops right down the Flame Strike, not really landing, but 2 decent shotgun blasts here as he's able to grab the upper armor shard, and now he's just playing sneaky, trying to cut off RAISY. Dire Orb at play here for RAISY in case things get too nuts. He can get out and maybe even finish off a frag with that burst damage.
And vengeurR hasn't been able to get access to a rail just yet. This is one of those maps where there is such a divide between the two halves that denying that weapon can be quite a primary objective, let alone on a map like this where those spawn rails, almost combine those words by accident, becomes extremely prominent. Now there's the big push by RAISY, however, can't get the killing shot, and actually this could still go to vengeurR. RAISY is weak, but a drop down into rail would have absolutely settled things, and vengeurR knows it. He's going to keep that high ground. This isn't going to be a frag just yet, but there is a little bit of a delay between these two items, 40, and what does that mean for these two?
If vengeurR can back down the heavy, he can get full control, but he's got to traverse the entire map. Maybe a Flame Strike, there it is, but the heavy's taken, but at what cost, catch-up? RAISY so weak, but vengeurR just doesn't have the stack to try and push yet, and after that rail, it's going to be extremely risky.
And we go back into the clinching moments for another time as there's very little armor here. vengeurR taking actually the only armor that's currently on the map. But in this position, it gets so scary when they're both one rail away from death, because you feel like the moment to go in is now. Here comes the return rail, and it completely puts a spanner in the works. The rotation of items begins again. Flame Strike not ready for this next drop though, but the LG is pretty good. That rocket certainly hurts, and the second one hurts even more. As, wow, I'm not quite sure what happened there actually. vengeurR kind of off the spawn, moving to and fro a bit. Probably just trying to bait out the rail, I can imagine.
Yeah, trying to moonwalk away, and RAISY just super patient with it. Now he's got him cornered, lining it up, but he's still gonna miss. The dance from vengeurR's fantastic. Next bit of damage wins it, and vengeurR's able to tie it with a shotgun blast from above.
That spawn really did confuse me for a little bit, because you're so used to seeing players like they move back and forward, but the rail comes out so fast. I'm not used to seeing players basically wait to see if it hits or not. That is so much patience between the two of these, and patience you can afford to be, as it's 2.5 minutes gone down here. vengeurR looking at the high ground Unfortunately not able to get it. RAISY is going to tag him with that initial rail, and a long time between one of the major items is going to spawn. Unfortunately, RAISY couldn't quite find that sneaky little rocket. But as we go towards this next item, who's going to get it?
Healthy stack for RAISY here as he plays with the Dire Orb. I like it, but he gets railed for it. Can't quite make it. The rail follow-up won't land, and he will get the heavy. It's a nice heads-up play for vengeurR to get a little bit of damage, but RAISY able to bail himself out and have full map control now with that cross-map Dire Orb.
vengeurR having the peace of mind and, dare I say, almost expecting a play like that, because he took all that time to go and take the regular armors that existed, and he has got pretty much the same stack that RAISY has now, even more, as he has that light armor up top to fall back on if he needs it. And he does manage to head him off towards this teleport. This is going to take some precious time. And he's just trying to figure out, I think, where is RAISY going to go? By getting hit by that rail, surely RAISY needs to try and go for a Mega. But I think that he's going to be satisfied maybe with that. However, as vengeurR keeps that heavy up, they now trade the item for item. We have
That was
to
his
constantly...
first heavy for vengeurR.
And the second Mega for RAISY. You can really tell who's been splitting this map in two.
Dire Orb comes out, just misdirection after that rail, could not follow up on it. And yeah, you're absolutely right. They've almost planted flags on either side of the map and said, cross the line, I dare you. It's RAISY looking for this upper armor shard. He takes so much damage, but luckily the follow-up rail from vengeurR will miss, but not that one, down to 6 HP. And again, both players so extremely weak after that battle.
RAISY opening things up by taking the heavy, though. And with the light health that exists, that's going to even the stack considerably. You look at the fact that vengeurR's got more HP, but RAISY's sitting on the armor, especially with those close-range rocket fights. Ranger, I mean, no one likes to deal with that. And the rail 1v1s begin. vengeurR hits the unreturned, and RAISY is critically low to the point where a shotgun, even from there, is going to do it. I think in that position, RAISY, he'll take the 40 damage from nail gun rather than the rail all day, every day. He steals it away.
And worth it, as the burning doesn't really do much damage as he's able to drop down on the 25. And yeah, we've seen vengeurR play the nail into rail combo off that spawn beautifully, but nothing doing against RAISY. And RAISY's turned this around with potentially 3 rails. Nope, he's going to swap the rockets. Nope, rail at the end to bail him out as vengeurR was dropping. RAISY takes the lead again, 5 minutes through catch-up.
You can always just hear out how much audio cues both these players are looking out for. Deep Embrace, certainly not the largest map in the world, but when you spawn, you know, it's where are you going to go? Are you going to go for one of the major items? Are you going to take one of the weapons, perhaps? And it looks like so far, RAISY with the big push, but vengeurR with the peace of mind to wait for it and punish accordingly. Now, he still is at death's door, and that's going to be a clean refrag. But I guess if there is a silver lining, at least the heavy's not up for some time. But vengeurR spawns away from the rail. I don't know what he's going to be able to do to stop this. Oh, the position from RAISY, so cheeky.
Yeah, playing on that campfire right there and waiting, and vengeurR knows he's waiting, and he gets punished. The patience again from both these players, and vengeurR comes back and says, I'm just going to get the frag, don't mind me. This ties it at 4.
Not getting a lot of that rocket damage so far, though, as RAISY peppers down an impressive amount of LG. Doesn't have the most ammo in the world, though, so he's going to get relegated into super shotgun the way things are going. And there goes all the cells. What does RAISY do as this next play? Again, he's in position for heavy, but he doesn't have a lot of weapons to make it count. In and out, and probably going to take a rail on the way. Just collecting a rail here is now vengeurR back into that interesting position where he's keeping that flame strike, and I'm sure he's waiting for it.
RAISY baiting that jump pad, knowing not to go up there. Rails exchanged.
We can definitely talk about the patience of vengeurR there. I think most of us in that position, you'd hear the jump pad, that flame strike would have been gone.
Yeah, waiting for the hit confirm, if you will. What a Dire Orb into the flames as vengeurR reads it well here, and RAISY's burning alive. He grabs a 25, almost hits a rail. Up the bridge goes vengeurR, and he's able to melt him down with the LG. What a play, and right off the spawn, RAISY eats a rail, potentially another one. vengeurR's not able to follow up, and now he's extremely weak.
A bold play for RAISY to do that. I think the safety of having the Mega nearby definitely would have aided that decision. vengeurR was weak and the 2 health bubbles were extremely obvious, but at the same time, RAISY off the spawn has very little in terms of weaponry. Now he has the heavy, vengeurR trying to get a little bit of that bonus damage, but maybe biting off a bit more than he can chew with that ranged heavy machine gun. RAISY collecting a rail now, and with that super shotgun in hand, can he finish it? Yes, he will. 5-5, and with 2.5 minutes left to go, 40. Critical moment for RAISY. I'm sure he'd rather it be 1-1 than 2-0.
So back and forth right now, looking to tie it up. Misses with the rail, unfortunately, as the damage is almost about even. Ooh, big damage coming out. RAISY cannot land the rails he needs. Machine gun, so much damage from vengeurR, and RAISY has to grab the 225s. Hits a fantastic rail on the crossover from vengeurR. vengeurR has to be extremely careful now.
He has been able to get himself a little bit of that stack back up, and able to sweep away with the heavy certainly makes things a little bit easier. Back up to full now thanks to the 2 lights. Extra information as he now knows that RAISY has a light armor. Both players will be fully aware of their even stack situation, and here comes a fight. The denial of the Hell Strike? Flame Strike. Wrong name, Ryan. But not quite though. The 5-5. Bonus damage on RAISY still. RAISY able to pick up the armor. It just feels like it's been neck and neck all of the 8.5 minutes.
So neck and neck, back and forth, 8.5 through, still tied at 5. Not the highest scoring Deep Embrace we've ever seen, but definitely one of the most tense, as vengeurR trying to go up 2-0, RAISY trying to reset to 1-1, missing with these rails again. They're not hitting when he needs them. Catch up, vengeur's gonna drop down with the LG.
Oh, the push into rail, but yet another miss. 40, RAISY's accuracy. This last minute has not been his friend. Oh, good lord. He steals the heavy because that's the last thing he can do. And now he's trapped.
Oh my god. vengeurR just missing out on that frag before the mega. And what a flame strike, and RAISY goes down again.
Spicy. Tries to get a read on RAISY taking this rail. It's a good thing that RAISY just did not take the bait, because no doubt he would have been in trouble once again. The dire orb's gone, right? He wouldn't have exactly had that into some kind of scrambly 2-piece. vengeurR, oh, what a flame strike that was to secure that last frag, and it looks like the way things are currently going, unless RAISY can pull something off now, that's going to be a 2-0 for the Italian lad.
25 seconds, dire orb in hand, but RAISY can't even find vengeurR to make an attempt at something. And catch up, this could be it. 2-0 for vengeurR. Amazing positioning here, a big opportunity. There's the dire orb, good rockets. There's the flame strike defensively, good kill, but this is it. It has to be the spawn.
Delayed though, the rocket into rail. Oh no, he goes the other way. He has the other spawn, and that's going to allow him to escape. That was, even up until the last 5 seconds, too close to call. And it is only fitting with these two. Now, one thing I actually really want to point out is vengeurR only picked up 4 heavies on that map. He was so much more focused on keeping his kind of standard stack in check, and it was that use of Flame Strike. Flame Strike made much more difference than dire orb when those fights happened, and a lot of it was patience. I think just having the peace of mind to know when RAISY was maybe trying to bait it out, and then after that, some absolutely phenomenal rails. RAISY gave as good as he got, but vengeurR having the last laugh.
There was a point where they were both tied at around 3k damage, and then vengeurR, as you said, RAISY started dropping off with the rails, and vengeurR just turned it up a notch and started dealing so much more damage. And that was really the big difference here. It's just unfortunate as RAISY could not connect with some of the most clutch rails that he needed. vengeurR's able to take that. Wow. vengeurR up 2-0 in the upper bracket, and what do you say? I mean, the guy's been a beast all tournament, and again, he wants this so bad to catch up.
It goes to show how punishing Quake is as a game. It always has been, right? The absolute demand for perfection, no matter whether it's champions, live, whatever. Any mistake getting punished when you have to play for that full 10 minutes can't feel good, but in this position where RAISY played so well all map long, but the deciding factor really at the end for me came down to that heavy, where he's right on the bottom. He has about 3 separate rails. Even one of the rails, it looks like the double back into the third shot was something vengeurR wasn't expecting. Not a single one of those rails connected, and that one fight just created the rest of the map. You know, there was only 30 seconds left to go, sure, but not getting any damage there just meant vengeurR had so much more of a comfortable time. However, we go from combat heavy map to combat heavy map to RAISY's Keep. Corrupted Keep will be our third and maybe final map here, 40.
Anarchy versus Galena. Anarchy for vengeurR, Galena for RAISY. And I totally agree with what you were saying. That last fight, near last fight, those 3 rail misses. At that point, I mean, we saw RAISY go through the telly and just use Dire Orb just to burn the heavy. And a tri-bolt made it easy for vengeurR to get that frag. And yeah, you start to worry if you're a RAISY fan here. He's got to dig himself out of a hole. He has the mentals, as we've talked about, to do it, but it's going to be a long road and Corrupted Keep. It's been his map before, maybe not so much now, because I think vengeur's on fire, and he might put this one away in 3, Ketchup.
I would call this 3-0 unheard of, should it happen. But I think it just goes to show vengeurR, we've been constantly talking about this guy for so long now, that he has been just inches away from a major championship victory where it feels long overdue. This could be the event where he puts his name into the Quake history books. But this one map, if he can win this map 40, the advantage, the comfort zone of the grand finals, the side he makes it from, I mean, that is best case scenario for vengeurR and fans everywhere.
Map advantage absolutely huge here. So he will claim the heavy, does have the inject as well. Shotgun out. Ooh, and a nice little play there. Good rocket, but RAISY dodges most of it by jumping, so only takes half of the direct and making sure he's zoning him out, maintaining control of this middle map area.
Tri-bolt has already been quite prominent here for vengeurR. The weapon denial being the #1 objective, for the very beginning at least, that it has gone all this way, and vengeurR still doesn't have the LG, and I'll tell you what, keeping the LG away from vengeurR, that's a good plan.
Wow, so much LG, and yeah, you're absolutely right. RAISY clearly has the game plan of no shaft for you for as long as humanly possible. And although he's not really capitalizing in frags, it's still working for him here as he's making sure vengeurR is going to take a ton of damage on his way over. And he's actually going to attack this heavy here. I like this play from RAISY, but the rocket was huge. There's the inject. More rocket damage coming out. Can RAISY capitalize?
Oh, wow, my lord, how? How did vengeurR both not die there and then also put RAISY in a back foot situation? Now, I was going to say it has been an almost picture-perfect start for RAISY matchup-wise. He has all 3 totems up and running. He's hid them away a little bit. I think this could be a point now where vengeurR does take them out. But, oh my god, RAISY had weapon denial, all 3 totems down, the items as well, and vengeur's positioning of that teleporter made everything go off.
Those rockets were so insane and a little bit more, but can he get away? The inject saves his life, 1 HP, and RAISY finally takes him down in the red room. But he had to work so hard just to tie it at 1. vengeurR getting free machine gun damage here as the Mega was taken, and vengeurR trying to play for this heavy, but he's 10 seconds too early. He needs to be careful here as he's only got rockets to deal with.
vengeur's uncanny ability to be as on the back foot as it possibly gets and still turn it into a frag and a position in his favor. I have no idea how he does it. Feels like truly in Quake Champions, one-of-a-kind level clutch factor, but that was merely to get the first frag. RAISY now in control again, has timing on these items, rotation on them is perfect, and the totems continue. This by all means will be a pickup, and an easy one at that. vengeurR gets some decent defensive damage, and I guess as a bonus, he dies to the totem and not the weapon, so at least one of them is gone, but that's as silver lining as silver linings come.
Yeah, and vengeurR using the inject. Nice heavy pickup as well, so he got that pocket Mega. RAISY with the LG. Oh, the air rockets from vengeurR again into the shotgun. RAISY is just, he has great positioning. The LG wasn't bad, but vengeurR just has these insane rockets, Ketchup. What do you do?
Just comes down to that clutch factor all the time, doesn't it? That vengeurR out of nowhere pulls out the max damage that he needs in every single fight. And I do like this defensive style that RAISY has had. He's been asserting himself throughout this map, but you're going up against vengeurR, you know that he has that factor of getting damage that you just have no idea where he pulls it out of. So, RAISY's been keeping his stat game high, and he's had to. The totems have been imperative to just fortifying this LG area, and he has been able to time that Mega, unfortunately taking a lot more damage than he's able to return, and even pushing through the teleporter. A scary game to play, an expensive pickup on the LG, but he survives, at least for now. Unfortunately, a little bit of that extra SSG. He has to try and slip away. Another totem keeps him alive, but it's not enough, and I think he's going to lose it. Yeah, there goes the totem. vengeurR spots it.
Machine gun play from RAISY's good, but the LG not quite doing the damage that vengeurR wanted as RAISY has armor. Mega should go to RAISY, and indeed the stack looking big now for RAISY. An opportunity as vengeurR has to just bob and weave for a while, grabbing those vials so he can try and get inject up. 59 HP. Just going to escape and use that mobility to try and get away, but he has to evade for a little bit longer here. Again, machine gun really, really important, and inject's going to be up, but he should not go for this heavy right now as he just cannot contest Ketchup.
But he does have the inject. I love that read from RAISY. You're not taking armor, but I know you. I know you're going to want something. And then lo and behold, here you are. Now he gives vengeurR a bit of a speed boost with that LG, but I don't think he really cares as vengeurR is still unbelievably weak. A 5-minute warning. They are split down the middle in terms of score. Make that 4-3 because RAISY picks up yet another one. The totem's good to drop down. He has timing on the items again. That defensive rocket does not hit its mark though. And vengeurR should be able to take this heavy at least. Man, neck and neck again. Who knew?
I feel like RAISY could have put a little more pressure on that heavy, but instead falls back to the Mega a little bit early. One rocket in the pocket. Good machine gun damage from vengeurR here. Totem at hand for RAISY as well as the armor shard. Trying to make sure that he gets some damage on the way out here as vengeurR goes back up to re-up on LG. Luckily for RAISY, as he ran out of LG, he does grab the ammo box, but this fight for heavy is going to be important here. RAISY wants to keep the lead, and vengeurR getting melted. Needs to escape, and again, on the back foot, very dangerous right now for vengeurR. Gets caught, but no, the LG runs out!
vengeurR definitely being aware that he must have run out of ammo there because he's just running in a straight line, and all of a sudden the damage just stops from his point of view. But what matters is that RAISY has kept vengeurR behind. As we've clearly seen at the start of the map, vengeurR from behind is still a major threat. But RAISY is the one protecting the lead, and RAISY is the one that is dictating the pace of this map so far. Likely to drop down another totem. If he just keeps them on the ground, he's taken up the hourglasses. If he takes the hourglasses, vengeurR cannot inject. Almost hitting a mid-air there. vengeurR would have got some insane damage, but he does manage to get a little bit extra off the Mega. But I think RAISY will still confidently push. If he can just deny all of these small resources, it's so much harder for vengeurR right now.
And the amount of item control that RAISY has is absurd. 19 majors to 7 for vengeurR, but vengeurR just doing so much damage, evading and using the inject so well that it's only a 1-frag game after all of that.
Yeah, you look at the stats, you wouldn't think there'd be only 1 frag. Separating the two, there's some LG as well. They're going to go down. RAISY is so weak. Thankfully able to pick up some of those health bubbles and a totem to drop down. Not that he even needs to use it right now, but this will be that game of armor. He's been able to get the stack of RAISYs low enough that I think RAISY is not going to look to majorly push this advantage. If he had more armor, then maybe. But vengeurR with that inject ready in 10 seconds. We'll see what happens next.
Taking some machine gun damage here, melting what little armor he had as vengeurR only working on armor shards. LG from down below as RAISY just wants to hop on this Mega, but needs to be careful. vengeurR preemptively striking with rockets, and look at this play from RAISY, just knowing that vengeur's there. Now vengeurR drops down with the LG into Tribal just to make RAISY go the hell away, but he wants more now. LG on LG, vengeurR in a bad way, and he takes a shotgun blast to the chest.
I love that weapon choice from RAISY there, 40. It just felt like he made the perfect call out on vengeurR. Just like that, he gets a much more comfortable position. We've been spending this entire map only 1 frag separating us. Eesh, that rocket definitely hurts. Thankfully, there is a Mega to pick up. But again, we just go back into the game of armor. I feel like most of the fights have taken place on these light armors.
Yeah, I mean, 14 apiece for each player, but the majors are just shining through for RAISY. 2 frag lead with 1:40. vengeur's got to make some magic happen. Finally gets another heavy, so he has some armor to work with after what feels like forever, but RAISY just easy damage from the middle of the map. He's going to drop onto the Mega a little bit early and use a totem for some insurance. vengeurR needs to take advantage of this situation while he can. Mega's going to spawn shortly, and he does! Big frag before the Mega catch up.
And that was a crucial moment for him to not only get that Mega, but have the perfect timing on that light armor. He did take the last heavy. He knows when it's going to appear. RAISY takes a little bit of that extra damage too. vengeurR, there's no need to rush. You know, there's no rush here. We still have over a minute to go for 1 frag. That play from RAISY was fantastic though. Again, getting a perfect call out on the aggression of vengeurR. That shotgun done so much damage, but now RAISY's stuck in the same position he was before. Ouch!
Oh, but he got the spawn! There's the LG. RAISY gets absolutely melted, but luckily he does get in on the rocket so he can try and play defensive. Totem goes down 92 HP as we have 40 seconds and we're tied at 5. Catch up.
That one moment the absolute turning point for vengeurR. RAISY has some weapons to take these fights. He doesn't have an LG though. It's rocket and shotgun all the way for the foreseeable. I think he's backing off now to take it, as we have 25 seconds on the clock. Basically may as well have started sudden death right now. 10 damage on opening. That is not going to be enough. vengeurR will keep the warpath strong. And oh no, the same situation for a third time. Is this the moment RAISY turns it around? I think we're prioritizing heavy, and it's the right call to make. RAISY does manage to head him off, but unfortunately, wait a minute. vengeurR, he just straight up lets him take the heavy. An interesting choice. We'll see if it works out for him.
The rocket pop left him vulnerable. He was trapped in the corner. Didn't want to risk it here. Needs to be careful not to take this machine gun damage. 10 seconds till the mega. vengeurR doesn't have inject for 15 seconds. He might be seeking out some of these shards to try and get inject so he has a pocket mega, and indeed he does while deleting a totem. That's going to be big here, as no totem economy for RAISY. vengeurR popping the inject. Big rocket. Can he follow up with a decent one? He does. There's the LG, but there's the heavy pickup for RAISY. He's going to drop down. He wants this fight. Big defensive rocket. 20 HP down to 6.
He's still alive, but how long? RAISY is going to use that weak vengeurR position to get a little bit of stack of his own. Looking for that extra range damage, only gets one hit. But the rocket, oh, that rocket plays so good. RAISY fighting for his life. And at the moment, I'm just wondering, is he even going to survive this? RAISY takes the mega. It goes from bad to worse. And heavy is the next objective. RAISY is full speed ahead. And vengeurR continues to play the game of retreat. Injections ready. Does he pop it or does he save it? vengeurR, this is unbelievable that he's still alive.
Absolutely crazy. He's still holding on to the inject wisely here as he needs to pop it now in the red room. Is it going to be bloody murder? He's running out of LG. Oh! Big rocket!
I cannot believe that vengeurR managed to find that rocket. Caught escaping. Is he going to push forward? Where is the health? Where is the stack?
7 HP.
40.
How?
Oh,
there's
the super shotgun we were looking for. And that is going to be signs of life right there.
For them. Maybe for them. For me, no, my heart can't take it, Ketchup. Jesus. As RAISY finally is able to put one up. No clean sweep. Wow. I don't know if we'd call that RAISY's keep. Maybe RAISY's lease. I don't know. He's renting. I don't know what it is. But it was very close.
I want to run some stats by you, everyone. That over 2,000 damage of the rocket launcher dealt for vengeurR. RAISY had about 2.4 thousand with the LG and barely anything with rocket. There was such a clear, distinct difference in the game plan of the weapons alone. And I mean, come on, vengeurR. If he managed to make that comeback, I think the turning point that just created that position where it was cat and mouse in sudden death. It was when they were both near heavy and vengeurR just decided to, I can only assume, play it safe. And he did not exist on the heavy in the final moments. And that is kind of where the comfort for RAISY began, right? Because that's where the stack was. And then vengeurR kind of put himself on the back foot. There is always confidence there. He definitely can play from that position, as the start of the map was able to demonstrate. But, oh, that was such a sweaty ending.
Absolutely insane. And look at the damage. Like, that's just crazy. Total damage from each player, absurd. And yeah, I think that the play you were talking about, rocket popped vengeurR into that corner near the super shotgun, and then when he got turned around as well. So when he turned around, he was just firing LG, didn't really know where RAISY was coming from, and I think he just hightailed it up the banana and didn't even want any part of that heavy, not knowing where RAISY was coming from, where the attack potentially was coming from. I think he tried to play it super safe and just get the hell out of there, but you're right, it turned the tide a little bit in RAISY's favor.
Now, Molten Falls is going to be our next destination, and this is where the difference in stack is going to be mega prominent, because it's Scale Bearer for RAISY and it's Nyx for vengeurR. That was so close to a 3-0, but obviously they're both going to be able to keep their head in the game, take it that one map at a time, as we've said, and the players always say. There's just no time or place to consider the situation, because anything outside of the game will just distract at this point. But this is going to be a test, I think, because on paper, Scale Bearer should be quite comfortable here. He's got lots of room to build up his speed. If there's any moment near a bad heavy fight, a bad rail room fight, whatever it is, Scale Bearer will just blink towards Nyx's general direction and she's dead. So vengeurR is going to have to play that rail heavy game. He's going to have to be patient, careful. We know he can do it, but when the stakes are this high, let's hope he can keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, nerves start to creep in a little bit, maybe. So we'll see. He needs to be perfect with the Nyx. Playing from behind against a scale will be absolutely terrible. You got to wonder how they're going to play off the spawn. A lot of the time, you'll see someone go try and deny the light before grabbing the heavy, and there's usually a fight there. I don't know if we're going to see that necessarily because of this matchup. The speed isn't necessarily there, but you never know, Ketchup. It could get crazy right out the gate.
That's what I'm expecting. And again, chips are down, right? 2-1 to vengeurR so far. Still needs this map to move himself into the grand finals, and RAISY fighting for his upper bracket life. There are a lot of players still, and I say a lot, there aren't many, but the level of talent in lower bracket is still unreasonably good, right? So, as we now jump in, who's going to get grand finals and who is going to have a lot more work left to go, 40?
We will see shortly here. 10 minutes from now, we may be seeing a victor that'll have their grand finals opportunity. But for now, we're live. Map number 4, vengeurR versus RAISY. The chaos continues, Ketchup.
And a start that allows RAISY to already put some confidence forward, I believe, as he gets LG, rail, all of the armor that he could possibly want. He gets hit by that rail. You can still be around here and challenge, bully a little bit. But now with vengeurR hitting rails like that, they need to keep on coming.
Trying to get some rocket damage around the ledge. It's a tough shot to hit. A little bit of LG from down below as he drops forward the heavy. Good position for vengeurR to just do damage and be able to fall back on to the Mega here. Ooh, but that rail from RAISY, real nice.
So we're definitely talking about the importance of vengeurR having to hit these rails. At the same time, it's making sure he doesn't just get completely beat up by them himself. Because, you know, you hit that scale bearer when he's stacked up with a rail, he's still going to have more stack than you do. Whereas if vengeurR gets hit by a rail that doesn't get returned, we have to run. The panic button will set in straight away. I think the pressure really does sit on vengeur's shoulders in this matchup. RAISY just needs to do his thing and do it well.
Oh, and with that tri-ball, this is very dangerous right now. Good rail. RAISY should be able to get maybe one more rail if vengeur's not careful here, and also has the bull rush, and there it is. vengeurR down to scraps. 10 HP, 225s to work with. Still alive for now, but very, very dangerous here as RAISY's starting to wear him down slowly but surely, Ketchup.
RAISY's already doing that thing that you so commonly see when a player is in a comfortable position. Now that heavy's up, and he knows it's up, but rather than just taking the heavy immediately, why not push forward towards the center a little bit? You know they're going to be weak, so they can't push there. They can't fight for it. So you try and get maybe some extra damage, maybe a bonus frag, and then you take heavy. Now RAISY is still sitting pretty around heavy area. vengeurR is playing this patient man's game, looking for the rails. They spot each other, no damage.
225s to work with. Still alive for now, but very, very dangerous here as RAISY's starting to wear him down slowly but surely, Ketchup.
RAISY's already doing that thing that you so commonly see when a player is in a comfortable position. Now that heavy's up, and he knows it's up, but rather than just taking the heavy immediately, why not push forward towards the center a little bit? You know they're going to be weak, so they can't push there. They can't fight for it. So you try and get maybe some extra damage, maybe a bonus frag, and then you take heavy. Now RAISY is still sitting pretty around heavy area. vengeurR is playing this patient man's game, looking for the rails. They spot each other, no damage yet. There's a little bit of it. I think RAISY wants to take this Mega and get out. The goal here will be just keeping vengeurR with limited comeback potential. That rail misses as well. And actually he drops down looking for some bonus shots.
Almost gets another one here and a little bit too early on the heavy, but the LG float across. What a gentleman to guide him through here. And the rocket stop landing, and vengeurR turns that around. RAISY with the rocket flub.
I think the starting of that disaster just came from the LG juggle that put him way far away. And I think as well, whoa, holds on to the Ghost Walk. Holds on to it and pays the price because of it.
He believed, Ketchup, he believed in his shaft, but just came up a little bit short. The stack is just too much, as now RAISY bullies him off the heavy. vengeurR trying to get at least a rail on the way out, and RAISY very patient, making sure that it's going to be at least safe. At least that he gives him some time to say, go away. Mega's coming up, position for that, even though I have the bull rush, and here it comes. There's the double back, really nice play, forcing out the Ghost Walk, but vengeur's going to stay around for some damage. Ooh, not caught out, RAISY, please. 41 HP, it's a game of chicken, Ketchup.
Oh, and he's looking for the rail as well. I was looking at that one through vengeur's point so bad.
He arises as Wenger, dropping down a little bit risky here. Bull Rush actually gets canceled during the heavy pickup, and he's going to take some rails for it as RAISY backs away barely. 225s to work with in the rail room, but that got messy.
Especially with that Mega as the next goal. And there's definitely a reason that RAISY is nowhere to be seen on Mega. He has time to play around with, but this is the kind of frag that if he concedes it and then Wenger gets this full rotation, it's going to become a lot harder for RAISY. And in spirit of this, sitting there and waiting for the light armor, wenger now in position for heavy. Significantly outstacking a heavy, and a light versus a heavy with this stack difference, that doesn't come often, let alone with these two. But RAISY just needs to get that first bit of damage that vengeurR can't return. Oh no, it misses!
A little bit of a haircut there, maybe, as RAISY's going to want that one back. That would have been huge damage. But again, another cycle of Mega where vengeurR gets it for absolutely free. And as you mentioned, the stack is huge on Nyx. And RAISY, not looking so hot himself, has the decent stack here, decent rockets, 95 damage. There's the Bull Rush, and there's the Ghost Walk forced out.
Oh, he beats him to the heavy, though, just in time! Oh, dearie me, vengeurR using the Ghost Walk in the perfect moment, not just to nullify the Bull Rush, but at the same time, uh-oh, hang on, misses it! That is a fumbled rail. That would have been a lot of momentum to work with, unfortunately, vengeurR that was an uncomfortable fight. Oh,
wow,
1-2.
6 HP. vengeurR patiently waiting for those 225s, and yeah, that push earlier down by heavy machine gun, you could tell that vengeurR just wanted to. Wow. Oh my God, the buckshot! 12 to the chest like Tom Brady, goes down. Still down by 1 as RAISY trails, but vengeurR was trying to end this map early. You could tell catch up with that push down there, the swap to rail that didn't connect, and that might come back to haunt him. Still has the 1 frag lead, but that's where he really wanted to end it and push the advantage if he got that frag off the spawn.
vengeurR is going to have to retreat back into that patient man's game, as we can see RAISY with that colossal stack. There's really no other way to describe it. But unlike the start, vengeurR does have that 1 frag advantage, so he has a little bit of an opportunity to command the pace. RAISY tries to escape and he eats a rail in return. Another rail to land before the Mega, but thankfully that Mega is going to, I think, soften the blow just a little bit. And vengeurR looking at that heavy. There goes the opening shot. There's the Ghost Walk. He's going to have time now. RAISY's going to try and get in and out. This is vengeurR's chance to get some bonus damage. I like the fact that RAISY didn't immediately get up the jump pad, but he is still very much stuck. Oh, doesn't quite get the rail.
vengeurR wanted to close that out, but again, he knows he has the 1 frag lead, so trying to focus on the items, making sure that RAISY doesn't get too tanky, because that could be absolutely horrible news for vengeurR. If you have a tanky Scale Bear with Bull Rush on hand, it's going to be bad. The LG for vengeurR, so good. There's the Bull Rush and into the wall. No, and that's a free heavy for vengeurR. He wanted to try and flip a Yui and steal away that heavy. Catch up, can he get the air rocket? Both players missing. The flick rail from vengeurR won't land. He's so weak, but RAISY's not healthy either.
This is going to be a frightening Mega. vengeurR is the one that's sitting on the armor, and that good defensive rocket from RAISY. A good start, and he's able to get out, but this is that moment. This is the scary part of the map, where if RAISY concedes a frag now, then I am going to be worried for him. vengeurR, so good at playing slippery, hard to find and hard to pin down. He's already sitting here, 2 frags in the lead. The Ghost Walk is locked and loaded. Yes, RAISY has tons of stack. Yes, RAISY could hit a good opening rail or something similar, but he needs to be in that position first. And by vengeurR allowing that Mega to be picked up, I think we're starting to see what that game plan's going to become.
Minute 50 until vengeurR has his grand finals appearance here. Just needs to play this perfectly as the hunt is on for RAISY. Big stack after this heavy armor as well.
I think the game plan is more than clear at this stage. 40, we have a minute and a half left to go, and RAISY has taken the latest few items uncontested. There's only one reason that's happening. It's because vengeurR wants to slow down the pace as another Mega gets collected. vengeurR is going to use that Ghost Walk to his advantage. He's going to listen out for RAISY's advances. Scale Bearer may be tanky, but good God is he noisy, and that's going to give vengeurR an edge. He keeps that armor up and good to go as well. And just look at the caution that he's bringing forward.
Rocket jump and Venger, beautiful play, gets away, but there's a rail. There's the bull rush, and now that the Ghost Walk is used, RAISY can try and attack, but he's guessed wrong. Venger just planted himself firmly right behind him, and 50 seconds, 2 frags. This is getting very, very dicey, Ketchup.
I'm loving that not only is he playing defensive, wait, RAISY calls it out! What a perfect read! What a perfect read that was, and now he has such more likely chances of bringing this one back. However, vengeurR is about to get another Ghost Walk, and with 30 seconds to go, that is frightening. Can RAISY find it? Look for some LG. The Ghost Walk, it's available. Oh my good lord, the wall jump is shutting down the rocket angle. That might be messing up where he is. He gets the frag on RAISY, and with that, the GGs roll around. 40 Lions, vengeurR is gonna be our first grand finalist here at the World Championship Finals. You know he's feeling good about that one, but holy shit, that was a nail biter.
You can absolutely see the relief on his face near the end there. So tense. RAISY so close. A matter of 2 seconds before the Ghost Walk. Didn't even need it. Holding on to the last second until it was absolutely necessary to burn it. But the wall jumps to evade the rocket damage around the corner was just enough. Hats off to vengeurR. Wheat. I mean, what do you think?
There's so much to love about that matchup, but in the last minute of that game, we saw one of the final Ghost Walks come out from vengeurR, and you mentioned it. He literally just planted his feet right where he was. I thought that was such a 5-head move because
I was so scared there. I really was.
I mean, it was pretty phenomenal. Wow. I was thinking that we might see a vengeurR 3-0, and the way he was playing his first 2 maps, that wouldn't have surprised me. Glad to see RAISY bring it back, but what a strong performance from vengeurR. It's just been incredible to watch his journey throughout this past few stages and where he is at. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about that. It was phenomenal, fantastic, and I'm just so excited for the Quake that we've seen this weekend.
I have the stupidest smile on my face right now, and it's kind of hard to get rid of. It's because of the pop-off from vengeurR at the end. You can just see how much this means to him. The grind has been 2 years strong. It was this time 2 years ago at the Quake Pro League kickoff, where he had I think a performance that he was disappointed with because of the shape he was looking like going into the LAN, which is almost weird to say at the moment. I really hope we get another one of those at some point next year. That he was looking so good, right? And he underperformed at the actual tournament itself, but then was on a climb. And that climb has been 2 years and still going. And I think it's poetic that he is our first grand finalist of this tournament.
Just insane play from vengeurR. Again, he has the fire in him. He wanted it so bad. Finally, grand finals, and he gets the map advantage. And let's not forget, RAISY's not out. He's going to be in the lower bracket waiting for the winner of Rafa Kilson. So that's not the end of RAISY. But what a performance by vengeurR. Well-deserved, as you said, grinding his ass off. And just congratulations to vengeurR.
We are not going to have an interview with vengeurR. We're going to give them the ability to kind of cool down and get ready for their next matches. But I wasn't really going to ask vengeurR a question. I actually wanted to just compliment him. You know, I've been covering Quake for almost 20 plus years, and every once in a while you really do see a talent that just sticks out so far. And the improvements that we've seen from vengeurR have been absolutely amazing. But I think he really is starting to solidify. You know, he's hammering in, he's chiseling in the name into this long list of legends that includes Thresh, that includes 0-4, that includes Fatality, that includes Rafa, that Cypher and Cooler. And it's a long list, but to get on that list is really freaking hard. I got to say, like, proud of the kid. Loved everything that he said. Think he's a great role model. Obviously, love all of our players in the QPL, but seeing vengeurR really evolve over the last few stages has been quite a treat. So 40 Lions and Ketchup, thank you so much. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, hey, you know, to enjoy that match because we got another good one for you. Rafa versus Kilson. Rafa's last chance to stay alive, and then obviously he's going to have to play RAISY. The winner of this match plays RAISY. Kilson, he's feeling hungry and looking hot. Who's going to take it? We're going to find out after this break. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.